You can imagine that. And that, there you go. That was that lady's voice that I said about recording in progress.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I wonder who that is.
Yeah, there's probably some actress somewhere going, it's my voice.
All these Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for joining me, Paul. Paul Newton.
All right, mate. Thank you for asking me. Absolute privilege, pleasure. Thank you. Appreciate it.
A bigger pleasure for me, I'm sure.
Oh, mate, I don't think so. You haven't seen what a bad guest I am yet. Just, no, give it time.
So we've got your magician, cybersecurity expert, podcaster, author, because you wrote Mental Theft.
Yeah.
And public speaker as well.
I still forget to call myself an author because I find that really weird. Mate, what a weird few years I've had.
Is that related to the pandemic? Those weirdness start then?
Right. So Mental Theft, the cybersecurity stuff, started about 3.5 years ago. Legitimately, that's when the website launched. That's when we started promoting it. That's when the idea went public. So for about a year, we started promoting me as a speaker in the cybersecurity world and using mind-reading tricks as ways to steal passwords and usernames and PIN numbers and scaring the bejesus out of people and making them more productive on their security, because I could scare them better than any IT expert could. I mean, you know, if you go to a speaker and they're saying, we've got this many gigawatts in a firewall, nobody really cares, okay? However, if I stand up and go, is your PIN number 2486? And they go, yeah. Brilliant. I just stole that in 30 seconds. Are you bothered yet? Are you going to, oh, and your password for your computer is, I'll just write this down. How did I do? And they go, yeah, you got it again. And all of a sudden people go, it's that easy to steal our information. Yeah, it is. You need these IT geeks to cover your backside. Otherwise, someone like me is going to nick all your money. And we were doing well. We were doing really well. I mean, we were getting inquiries all over the place, all over the UK. And because of the way my mind worked, we were only aiming at the UK at that time. Then we did the biggest talk that we'd done, biggest audience we'd had, best fee that I'd had, and it was really flying. I mean, you know, the inquiries coming in, mate, were ridiculous. And then we got this notification from the government saying you're not allowed in a room with more than 30 people in it. And I was like, well, that's every magic gig I've got booked and every speaking slot I've got booked. And I'll be honest with you, Mike, I looked at what was happening in other countries. We had our government saying, oh, it'll only be for a month or two. And I went, it's not. This is going to be longer than that. If we're already in this position, they cannot contain it now. This is going to be much longer term than anyone else is saying. And mate, I remember giving everyone all the weddings that I had booked and all the corporate events I had booked, I gave them all their deposits back. Because you think I had two businesses, the magician stuff and the speaking stuff. Both of them came crashing down overnight. And I was facing bankruptcy because, yeah, what can a magician do? What am I suddenly going to do to make a fortune to keep paying all the bills? And I'll try not to start crying on you because that's just not nice. It's not a pretty thing for any YouTube channel, mate. It's not good. But yeah, we had some choices to make, and Mental Theft could have died then. Paul Newton Magic could have stopped then. I wallowed for a while. I got upset for a while. I don't know if I was depressed because, let's be honest, you couldn't go and see any doctors. So I was a grumpy git for a while and kept out of everyone's way. But thankfully, Jesse, the guy that you know as my sidekick, my buddy on the podcast, my mate who's my co-host, he waited long enough. He gave me enough time to get over the wallowing, and then he kicked me out the backside. And between him, my wife, his wife, a certain couple of business colleagues, I don't want to say contacts because they're more mates than contacts. One gets a special mention, Maddie Alexander Grout. She really did kick my backside.
Oh yeah,
but all,
I know her. I met
yeah,
her.
Maddie's brilliant.
Yeah.
Maddie is brilliant. And she's guest on my podcast as well. Go listen to that. She's awesome. That girl is an absolute cracker. But yeah, all of them said, right, start writing the book. Start writing the book about how a mind reader would steal everyone's stuff. And I was like, don't be silly. I've got no money to launch it. I've just given away loads of money that was in my bank account and I've got none coming in. That's a different problem. Go write it. So I started writing it. Through the process, Jesse again was my backup guy. He was reading through things. He was tweaking bits. I understand what you're saying there, Paul, but it doesn't feel right. I just want to, you're right if we change the language to this, or Paul, in this section, I want you to talk about this. And I went, hold on. You want me to talk about that, but that's not how I talk, Jesse. And he went, well, what do we do? And I said, why don't we have a Jesse bubble? And it was like, what? And I said, well, look, I'll talk about it from my point of view. You have a very different point of view to me. So after I've made my point, why don't we have a speech bubble come in that just says Jesse says, or Jesse's ideas, or something like that? And you can say, look, Paul looks at it this way because of ABC. I look at it this way because of XYZ. And whichever way works best for you, go with that one. And he then became my co-author as well. And now I can remember thinking, right, we've nearly got this book ready, but I can't launch it. No publisher was interested. So self-publishing route. And I've got no money to launch this book at all. And then Jesse and Maddie both turned around to me and said, do a crowdfunder. And again, the whole self-doubt thing crept in, the whole I'm an imposter thing crept in. And I remember saying to both of them, no idiot would put money in for a book from a magician talking about cybersecurity. And they said, look, that's not your worry. That's nothing to do with you. Let's launch it and see what happens. So I was like, all right, okay, maybe. And then Maddie, the cheeky git, she went to the crowdfunding people and told them about the project. They then contacted me directly and said, we love this idea. We love it so much that if you do this through us, there will be 0 fees. Like, they didn't even charge people for credit card processing. And I looked at it all and went, if I say no to this now, I am the stupidest business owner ever in the world. So I said yes. And we launched it. And the deal is, right, if you ever want to prove that something won't work, okay, and I was adamant with Maddie and with Jesse and with our wives as well, I was adamant this crowdfunder would not work, okay? But if you want to prove something won't work, you have to act like it will work, because if you don't put your full effort into it, then it's your fault it didn't work. It's not because it was a rubbish idea. So we went for it. And I was doing lives every day. I was doing posts every day. It was everywhere. I mean, I put it at the end of the 30 days, there was still friends of mine who said, we didn't know you did that. So you know, just go as nuts as you can with any promotion, because there will still be someone that won't see it. Okay. And yeah, we needed, right, the targets were, I needed £2,000 to launch this. I wanted £4,000 to launch it in a way that I'd be proud of it, and it would be exactly what we pictured. Mate, we ended up raising nearly £7 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. And something went wrong when we launched it. I'd set it up to automatically launch at 12 midday. And at 12:02, Jesse's on the phone to me going, why isn't it launched? It's not live. And I'm like, I don't know. And the way it's set up, only one person can get access. So we're literally talking on a video chat on a well-known Zoomy type platform. And he's going, but Paul, is this because you haven't wanted to launch it? Is it? And I'm like, no, I told it to launch. Look. And I shared the screen and showed him that it should have launched at 12. And we're like, what? And Jesse's like, look, it's got to be user error somewhere. We've done something wrong. And then he went, what about that big orange button at the top there that just says launch now? What happens if you click that? And I went, I don't know. I'll click it and see. And I clicked it. And I remember it actually launched at like 4 minutes past 12. While me and Jesse are having the closest we've ever had to an argument. And then I hit the launch button and it went, there we go, your project is launched. And I'm now sat on this Zoom chat going, bugger, launched. In that 4 minutes, I think I had 3 people contact me saying, thought your crowdfunder was launching. We're literally waiting with our credit cards to put money. And I was like, okay, so we've got a couple of people that are going to put in like a £5 each. Okay, at least it's going to start. Okay. In the first hour, it did 700 quid.
Wow.
Yeah, we had one corporate, Jeremy Robbins from Genio Accountants over in Southampton, put in the first corporate of £500. And so literally an hour later, I'm sat there going, what's going on? I didn't expect this. And mate, the wave of people, and we launched it in the middle of a month, which I didn't think about. And I didn't think was significant at all, okay? And we'd have like drips and bits of money coming in, and every couple of days you get 3 people or 4 people. And then on the last day of the month, we had the most amount of people pledge money that we'd ever had. And one of them literally sent a note saying, so sorry we didn't get involved at launch day. We had to wait for payday. I hadn't even thought about that. So yeah, mate, mental theft and the pandemic. Because of that weird pandemic, mental theft went worldwide. And I started, because of the book sold, the book still sells in America, Australia, the UK, some countries that I can't even pronounce because I'm typical Brit and I'm rubbish at different languages. And yeah, I got known worldwide. Mental theft. As mental theft, I do talks all over the world now because of Zoom and because of Teams and because of the technology. I can be right with people wherever they are in the world. And while I hate the pandemic and I hate what it's done, I do look around and go, if I hadn't been locked in my house for a while, would I have written the book?
Yeah.
And that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's a common story for a lot of the people I interview, is that the pandemic was a turning point in their business.
Yeah.
So going back before mental theft, you were obviously a magician for a long time, a well-established magician.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just wondered, how did you get into that? Did you just, would you have like favorite magicians you used to watch on TV? And
Oh yeah. For everyone that's watching who's just listening to audio, I just nodded a lot to that. I'm sorry, that was really bad for people who are just listening. Mate, Paul Daniels. I loved Paul Daniels. I still love Paul Daniels. I'm gutted that he's gone from this world. Paul Daniels show, and it was actually a Paul Daniels magic kit that started me. My parents got me when I was a kid. And I can still remember being a kid and doing some of those magic tricks from that set and watching grown adults, and their minds were just blown by some of the stuff I did. And I thought, isn't that a weird power almost, that a child can make grown adults go, well, what the hell just happened?
How
do you do that? And these were intelligent adults, and you'd do something and they'd just go, that's just not possible. I know, but I did it. But Paul, that's not possible. And then they go, how did you do it? And my parents would say, oh, he's not allowed to tell you. It's part of the rule of being a magician. He's not allowed to say it. And they'd cover my back on that. But yeah, that I love that. When you can pull a word out of somebody's head that they've just written down like 5 minutes earlier and not shown anyone. And then you pull that word from them and they just go, but that's wrong. That's not possible. So yeah, Paul Daniels, it's completely and utterly Paul Daniels' fault that Paul Newton unleashes this weird kind of hell on some people. I really feel sorry for them. But yeah, mate, my job really, I've been doing magic alongside my corporate career for years. But then 13 years ago, I walked away from the corporate world. I had the best job ever in the best company ever. But it was 2008. Recession was hitting. People were being offered redundancies all over the place. And I remember turning around to my wife and saying, look, I've got to quit the magic and concentrate on the job. Otherwise, we could be in trouble. And she went, why don't you quit the job and concentrate on magic? And my wife is the sensible one out of the two of us, by the way. She's the one who will make the correct choices. She's the one who will stop me from doing something really stupid a lot. Okay. But yeah, when she said quit the job, not the magic, and she pointed out how much we earn from the magic, and she pointed out that actually we can cover all the bills of what I was already doing. And then she was like, but we can cover everything, and if you concentrate on it more, you can build it more. Now, for me, my little girl was only 6 months-ish at the time. And I wanted to quit something because I wanted to spend more time being a dad. It's fine working 7 days a week if it's just the two of you as a couple and you've made that choice and you've made that decision to go for money, and that's what you're after. But when there's this little bundle of skin and bone and laughter and smiles, who she used to go ballistic whenever I'd walk into the house because she's excited to see me. And I was just like, I can't keep walking away from this. This is absolutely killing me. And yeah, when she said, look, if you quit the job, that means you only have to work 2 days a week. Whereas if you quit the magic, you have to work 5. Which dad do you want to be? And that was it. I was like, you're right. I'm going to walk away from the job, concentrate on the magic. And then, yeah, then 11 years after that, mental theft kind of came into my head. And I started researching that and doing well with that. Now, like you said, your introduction, mate, that was lovely, but it kind of messed with my head a bit, listing all the things that I'm now known for. Yeah, we've started, even the podcast, which I started with Jesse as a way to keep sane. Okay. You've suddenly got this entertainer who's this big, massive, bouncy bag of energy who needs to jump on stage every so often to release that energy and just kind of shout and mess about and have fun with as many people as possible, who then just got, you're locked in your house and you're staying there. What? Really? And I looked around and I went, I've got loads of friends who are really interested and who are also locked down. Why don't we do interviews across a video link and see if people want to listen? Even that, seriously, Mike, it blows my mind. I don't look at the numbers much. I really don't, because I can't handle it very well. But the fact that I do this recording from my living room or my office or from somewhere, and me and Jesse interview these really interesting people, and then hundreds of people listen to it.
Yeah.
What the hell is that all about?
Yeah. You've got the X factor.
Apparently. Apparently, mate. And I still have I'll get emails from somebody in a different country in the world saying, thank you so much. That episode helped me with XYZ. And I'm like, that's amazing. From my little place near Southampton, I've helped someone in America with a life change that they've been thinking about making, and the right interview that they listened to at the right time helped them realize they can do it. What's that all about? Yeah. So yeah, mate, I will happily and lovingly say that if you bundled it all together and tried to describe Paul Newton is a full-time dad and a part-time entertainer, because the entertainment side still covers mental theft, it covers the magic stuff, and it covers the podcast. I'm just very, very, I nearly said lucky then. If I say lucky, Jesse will kick my backside. I'm very aware that I have an amazing network of people that I've worked on and I've worked with for many years. And that means that I can get in touch with even more amazing people and interview them. I love it. And well, you think, me and you, we've bumped into each other in networking events over however long. You then Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Don't know what happened there. It must have been the god of Spotify or god of Zoom.
The god of Zoom went, no, that's enough. Yeah. On my screen, you just froze. I was like, I've upset him. I've bored him, and he stopped.
No, you froze, and I was waiting for it to come back again. I was thinking, was it a temporary? It's one of those moments where you think, should I say something, or will it come back anyway?
Yeah, because I stopped and waited, and then I went, Cat, can you check if our broadband's okay? No, how's it working?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Goodness knows. Sorry, do carry on. Do carry on. I will. We can always edit that middle bit out.
Mate, this is it. You're going to have to actually do some work on the editing now. Just trying to remember where I was and what you lost. Ask me something else, mate.
No, that's right. I think you were talking about just how everything came together. Being you're a dad.
Yeah, right. So that
was your full-time job.
So fair enough. For everyone that's listening to this, we just had a slight technical hitch. So if I've changed the subject, I apologise lots. Okay. But yeah, so Paul Newton, really, I'm a full-time dad and part-time entertainer, because that kind of covers everything that I love doing. As my business grows, which it is, I think I'm going to have to end up employing some people, and they'll help run the whole company. But how weird is that, mate? I've gone from being a solo magician to I'm now considering employing people to help the company run better and stronger.
That's amazing.
Mate, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Is because are you a member of the Magic Circle?
No, I am not a member of the Magic Circle. I've been asked a few times, and I love what the circle does, but I hardly ever get up to London, so I kind of look at it and go, what's the point? Yeah, I've got friends who are in it, and they love being part of it. And the funny thing is, I can probably just walk in there whenever I want, because I know enough people that are in it. But yeah, weirdly, it's right. I'm going to put this as lovingly as I possibly can. Okay. I love magic. I love doing magic. I love being part of the magic world. But magicians are a weird bunch. Okay. We are really, really weird. And there is nothing that scares me more than thinking about being in a room full of magicians.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Quite a thought.
No.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Right. And there's a convention. So various conventions happen all around the world for magic. There's a big one called. That's a lot of magicians in one place, mate. I don't think I could handle it. No. Yeah, and it is quite funny because my magician buddies who do go, they're like, "Boy, you should come along." No, I'm good. I'll be staying at home and having a cup of tea, thanks.
So, is there a link between like being a magician and like your mental attitude? Does that influence by being a magician? Not in terms of like reading people's minds, but just the fact that. So
mental attitude, when you say mental attitude, do you mean my own mental health or my own mental?
Yeah, I mean in terms of like a positive mental attitude, because
okay,
helping that being a magician.
Do you know what? I think anyone in entertainment is nuts beyond belief, because all of us are after the validation and the love from the audience. Okay, all of us. I don't care what anyone says. And this goes from people who are doing amateur dramatics, okay, for free, all the way up to massive celebrities who are on stage and selling out 1,000-seater venues. We all love that applause, and when you hear that applause, that's validation for what you've done, and you know, you're hoping something's really good. And when people applaud and stand up and cheer and all that, they're telling you that you've done a really good job. Okay. Now that means that we're all a certain type that needs that validation quite a lot. So then the flip side is you go to auditions where you've got 1,000 people who all look like you and all going for exactly the same part. and you've now got a 1 in 1,000 chance to get that job, and you keep getting turned down. What does that do to your mental health? What does that do to your attitude? Mate, if you are the type of person that cannot handle rejection, do not get into entertainment in any way, shape, or form. Okay. That's coming from somebody who I keep getting told I'm quite successful at it. Okay. I seriously, I love it. I do love it. But oh my word, if you saw the amount of rejections I've had over my career compared to the amount of successes, you'd probably look at it and go, why on earth are you doing that? It's just weird, mate. It's just weird. I love the industry. I really do. But if you haven't got something up there that turns you into an absolute armadillo with this shielding around you that bounces off all the rejection and all the hate and all the people that, and I've had people who don't know me. They've never met me. And they're saying, God, I need rubbish. This is absolute rubbish. You shouldn't watch that. Shouldn't do that. Don't go see his shows. And they've never been to my shows. And if you are going for that kind of work, find yourself a Jesse. Find yourself somebody that will be there in your corner fighting with you. Because I know on all my social medias, every so often you'll get a troll. Okay. Thankfully, I don't get loads of them because I'm trying to do something that I think is good. But you will get trolls, and I do get trolls, and I get idiots who don't know what they're talking about trying to have a go at me. And the funny thing is, I'll have something ping on my phone or on my computer saying, you've got a comment on here. And I'll be like, okay, right, I'll finish this meeting. I'll go check what that is, because it might be somebody that needs help. And I'll go look, and it's been deleted. And I'm like, well, Jesse, I got a notification for a message. Did you deal with it? And he went, yeah, you don't need to worry, it's gone. It's like, that was a troll then. That was someone being an idiot. And Jesse has just gone, nope, gone, and moved on. Because he's got that mindset. It doesn't faze him at all. And he just looks at it and goes, what a load of tosh, and gets rid of it. And yeah, I swear he's helped my mental health over these last few years a lot.
Yeah, it makes sense to have a partner who's in your corner.
And sometimes that person needs to be more motivated than you are.
Yeah.
Because you'll have those times. And Mike, with your podcast, and I think your podcast's brilliant, and it's gonna do well. Okay. You've got to keep the attitude the same as you've got now, and you've got to push it, and you've got to promote it wherever you can. But every so often you'll get a troll. You'll get somebody saying, why the hell are you doing that? Well, a person of your age, sex, hairstyle, nose shape shouldn't be doing that because, you've got one of those little noses, and nobody that does podcasts with a little nose is ever successful. That's how ridiculous some of these things are. Yeah. Okay. But every so often, one of them will hit you in the absolute face, and you'll be knocked back going, what the hell? Why am I even bothering? And that's when the team around you go, well, you sit there for a while, you recoup for a while, okay, you have a nice cup of tea, because while you're doing that, we're going to keep promoting this stuff to all the people that love you.
Yeah.
And they do. And I extend that to all the followers of my podcast, to all the followers of Mental Theft. All of them are part of the team. Yeah, mate, it's nuts. It's nuts, but in a brilliant way at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever get any kickback from hackers? Because you're trying to protect people from hackers, and do they try and get back at you somehow? Because obviously you're doing out of business.
We know, right, so there are ways that you can check how many times your people are trying to hack certain things. And if you've got a static IP address, you can see how many times people are trying to hit that. And we know that some people have tried to hit websites. We know that somebody tried to take control of something that was very important to us. It's going to happen, mate. At some point, I know in my heart that one of the websites will get taken down. Because the annoying thing is, these guys are really bloody good. Okay, these And when I say guys, I'm not saying these men, these guys, these girls, these whoever they are. Some of them are so intelligent and so clever at this stuff that no matter what you put in, they will find a way. So with security, what I'm saying here is even Fort Knox could get done over. Okay. You will never have a company that is 100% secure from every hack out there. Okay. Whether it's physical, whether it's cyber, any of it. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that all of our companies, and I'm saying you here, Mike, I'm saying my bank, I'm saying, the people who create websites, I'm saying all of them. We need to constantly be building our fences higher. Because if we're making all of our fences and all our security around us higher and higher and harder to jump and harder to get through, what they actually do is they go, we'll look at someone else. We'll point a different way. It's that old thing of if a burglar walks along a street and sees that 90% of the houses have got burglar alarms on them, which houses are they looking at? They're just going for the 10% without the burglar. Okay, if 90% of those houses have a burglar alarm, and out of the ones that don't, 5% of those they have dogs, and they can hear the dogs going nuts every so often. Which houses are they going for? They're going for the quiet houses with no lights on and no burglar alarm and no dog behind that door.
Yeah,
got to keep just building our security, and that's what we do as a company. That's what me and Jesse do. Our passwords, I don't even know my passwords because I use decent password managers. And let's be honest, if I knew my passwords, then somebody like me could nick them. So yes. I would say to you, don't even know your own passwords. Let technology take care of that, and they will never. How can I put it? Right. So I'm married. I've got a daughter. I've got a dog. If somebody knows that about me, they will then start going, oh, he might use his wife's name for his passwords. He might use his dog's name. He might use his daughter's name. He might use their birthdays. Whereas if you use decent password managers, you've got a string of characters, anywhere from 15 to 30 characters, depending on which manager you use, that are all random. I've got no chance of nicking that. Okay. And I had this argument with somebody a little while ago. They went, yeah, but if somebody hacks the password manager, doesn't matter. Because if you try to hack my password manager, not only have you got to figure out the password to get into it, which is like the main big golden key that blocks everything, you've also got to hack my multi-factor authentication. So you've got to steal my phone and my phone number, and you've got to nick control of my email addresses, which, by the way, is hidden behind the password manager anyway. So as long as you've set up multi-factor authentication, the only way a hacker that has hacked your password manager would be able to get into your password manager is if they also steal those digits off of you when the multi-factor authentication check comes in. Now, I'm sorry, but if you've then given the hacker that information, that's down to you. That's not down to any password manager. And yeah, I properly get on my high horse about this because almost every talk I do about security, you'll get somebody go, I don't trust them because they could get hacked. No. If you allow somebody into that's definitely your fault, not theirs. Sorry, I'll get back off my high horse now.
No, that's right. Yeah, I suppose it's the human element.
It really is, mate.
That's why
it really is. And you think if you honestly went online and looked at every online account you have that has a password attached to it, I have yet to find somebody that was lower than 50. Okay. Now, and let's use the base number of 50 accounts online that need passwords. You're going to start having things that are similar, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Okay? Because as my example, you're using a combination of your daughter's name and your dog's name, and you're changing an I for a 1 and an E for a 3. Okay. There's still going to be combinations really similar that'll work out really quickly. And password manager. 30 characters, all completely random. You don't even know what they are. Which one am I more likely to hack, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such so many people with poor passwords. I mean, it's a miracle that there isn't more hacking going on and more data theft from people.
Hey, do you know what? I think there is more going on than we know. Because, and I've dealt with this far too much, I have too many people coming to me after they've been done over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Needed me before. Now they've been done over. They now need my friends who are solicitors. They need action fraud. They need, the backup. The horrible bit is when I'm dealing with someone who's been done over by a hacker, and I'm the first person that's blatantly honest with them, and I say, you're probably not getting it back. Okay, you look at the sequence of events. You transferred that money to that account because somebody convinced you it was the right thing to do. Now, because you made that transaction, that's your fault. And it's horrendous. But you also see this, okay, I've got to move. Now let's secure you again. Now let's make you actually secure this time. Let's take all of those choices away. Okay, let's make you as robust as we can. But yeah, and I know that a lot of those people don't report what they've gone through because they feel shame, they feel stupid, they feel like that they shouldn't have been done over by it. They can't admit to their friends that they got done over by this because their friends might think I'm stupid. And here's what I'm going to say on that, Mike, is these hackers and fraudsters are very intelligent and they know the game better than any of you will. Yeah. Okay? Know how to put pressure on. They know what to say. They know the right words. My buddy who's in cybersecurity and has taught all of his friends and family everything that he does, he walked into the house of his mother-in-law while she was on the phone to fake Amazon support, and she was literally just about to transfer thousands of pounds to them. Yeah. God. And he's walked in and she's gone, oh, yeah, I'm just talking to Amazon. And he went, what? Why? And he's hit record on his phone. He's taken the phone off and gone, hello, what are you doing? Oh, yeah, we put too much money into your mother's account. She's just about to transfer it out. And he went, whoa, I know this scam. No, it's not a scam. I'm definitely from Amazon. He's got a recording of it. And he did so well. And it's quite funny whilst also horrible. But as soon as the scammer realized that this wasn't happening, he started threatening violence. He started threatening to kill the mother. He started threatening to come and attack him. And then Buddy just going, I know how this game's played, mate. I can probably reverse this on you. I'll find your IP address. Let's play this game. And he's just laughing at the scammer and ripping into him because they've got no real power. They're sat in some other country somewhere. They don't know who you are really. And he's just all access to the bank account.
Yeah.
Now, if he hadn't walked in at that time, it'd be a very different story. You know what I mean? That mother-in-law would now be sat there feeling so shameful and so upset. And I've lost that money. I can't pay for X, Y, Z this month. You're then dealing with little old ladies who can't afford their heating bill because some scumbucket has nicked their money.
Yeah,
Mate,
yeah.
That's the mother-in-law of a cyber expert.
What is the most how shall I describe it? The most sneakiest scam you've seen, or the most clever one that you've seen?
Sneaky ones, the ones
maybe even fool someone who thought they were, knew about cybersecurity. Is there like a one that would even?
Sorry, I chuckle a bit. I do laugh a bit at this because this is just, it amuses me. Back in one of the first big talks that I did, and Jesse was there with me because Jesse's also a photographer and he was taking loads of shots of the talk. And finish the talk. I'm now used to this. When you finish a talk and then there's a queue of people that want to talk to me about something. And I'll tell everyone I'm not an IT expert, but I can lead you to them. And this guy came up to me and he said, oh, yeah, well, but, you have to be thick to fall for these things, don't you? And it's like, no, sorry, I've just shown you in the room that I can steal stuff off of highly intelligent people. No, it's not a level of intelligence at all. It's the fact that a scammer makes a story that's really believable and really good. Well, I've never been scammed and I never would be scammed. Okay, that's good for you. Well done. You've never had anything go on. No, I did find this weird payment going from my bank account once though. And Jesse just sort of looked over at me with the eyebrow raise of, here it is. He's been done. Oh, really? How much was that payment for? Oh, it's only for £15. And I went, oh, okay, just £15 one-off payment, was it? And he went, no, it wasn't one-off. And I went, how many months? And he went, well, it's I was like, for 4 years. And he went, yeah. I was like, so that's like 180 quid a year for 4 years. Yeah. So you've been done for the tune of nearly £800, and you think only thick people will fall for them? Oh, well, yeah, but that wasn't really a scam, was it? No, it was. They've got your bank account details. They've gone for an amount that you'd never notice, and they've been taking it off of you for years. If they're doing 15 quid off of one person per month and people don't notice, then the reality is they're probably doing that to 1,000, maybe 10,000 people. And they're taking millions every year. Oh, yeah, but it wasn't a scam. I blocked it. And I was like, okay, so how did you block it? Well, I cancelled that transaction. And I was like, okay, but that means they've still got card details, right? Oh, said to him, if I was you, I'd be calling up the bank, cancelling that card and changing it to another one. Because what they'll likely do is wait a few months and restart it, maybe for £7 a month, in the hope that you don't notice that one. Oh, right. I was like, see, it's not about intelligence. But yeah, this guy was adamant that he'd never be done by a scam. Nobody would ever fool him. And he's been done for nearly 800 quid already.
Yeah. And maybe that's the worst attitude to have, isn't it? That you can't
really is,
be scammed because your defenses go down.
Really is. Yeah. Well, we've already chatted about this. I talk to people about this stuff all the time, and I fully expect one of my websites to be done at some point. It will happen. They'll find us something that gets past me. I was talking with a very big cybersecurity company last week, and one of their guys clicked on a link in an email that they shouldn't have clicked on, and people got access to the computer system. So what did they do? What they did was they told all of their customers and said, look, this is an exact example of what can happen. But because our guys are all open with us, he told us as soon as he realized, and we've managed to lock it down. The difference is if you do that and then try to hide it, the scammers will get through.
Yes.
So, mate,
maybe in the corporate structure, you should have maybe, some sort of reporting system where, someone doesn't get in trouble when they have clicked something they shouldn't have.
Yes, you should. And being open about attacks, being open about cyber, being open about worries, being open about, just ask your mate, ask your colleague next to you. If you get an email, actually, I got one last night. I got an email to my magician email. I opened it and it said, what was the wording? Attached is your invoice for last month. But it wasn't a PDF. It was a HTML attachment. And I'm like, nope, don't know you, don't know the company. Why would I open an attachment from someone that I don't know? Especially HTML. There's no reason for it to be a HTML at all. Okay. It could be a PDF. Yep, I'm okay with that. But not a HTML. No. And yeah, you then look at, so if anyone gets an email they're unsure of, it's quite easy to hover over where it was sent from. And you will often then find it's just gobbledygook from the sender. Their email address is just total and utter trash. And let's be honest, my company's still quite small, so I know all of my suppliers. I know the people I deal with. I looked at it and went, nah, that's a scam. That's somebody trying to infect my computer. Not happening. I still get them. One of my contacts on LinkedIn, I put up a warning on there about some of these things. And she, accountancy firm, really intelligent lady, she's like, Yeah, I'm averaging 4 a day that get through now. And that's with all of the antivirus and the software and the firewalls and all of this. But yeah, you still have to be switched on to go, no, that one is not a link I'm ever clicking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And do you think that the big tech companies could be doing more about this, or can they do anything about it? Or is it down to us basically to just recognise these attacks?
You know what? This turns into a horrendous argument and conversation, because human beings are such a mix of grey zone, it's unbelievable. Okay. And if I am a big bank corporate and I force you to use a password manager, I force you to use multi-factor authentication, and I force you to use biometrics technology, which means it'll only work if you get facial recognition or thumbprints. Okay. If I force all of these things onto you, and then I say, you cannot have a bank account without these things. Now, Mike, what happens to the little old lady or the little old gent who have never had a computer and don't have a mobile phone? What we've done there is we've just said all of these people who don't have this technology are now not allowed to use our global banking systems. So it's a horrendous conversation, okay? Because there's a part of me that wants to say, force everyone to have these things because then they'll be safer. There's another part that says what you're actually doing is shooting a load of people at their knees and taking away their choices. There's just no win, mate. There is no actual real win.
It's a moral maze.
Yeah. All we can do really is try and teach people, try and show people how to use these things and make it easy to use. Password managers, they're a pig to set up. They're horrible to set up. I made one of my friends set one up and she hated me for it. Okay. But I'd much prefer to have her have a bit of I can't believe you're making me do this, Paul, than the conversation of, Paul, all of my life savings has just been nicked. It's down to all of us. It's not just down to the big banks. It's not just down to the big insurance companies. It's not just down to your catalog company that lets you put in a rubbish password. It's down to me. It's down to you. It's down to everyone that's listening to this. And until we all have that attitude, hackers are going to keep winning.
Yeah. So is your number one tip to get a password manager?
Mate, the number one tip, and no matter where I'm talking, no matter who I'm talking to, and I've had corporates that are massive, and I've passed them on to IT companies that have had contracts with them that are worth hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions, to make those companies safe. Okay. But the one big tip that I can give everyone is use a password manager and multi-factor authentication.
Yeah.
If you combine the two of them, seriously, mate, I reckon you knock out about 98, 99% of potential hacks in the whole world.
Yeah.
How harsh would that be? You know, all those hackers going, oh, this one's got, it's got a two-factor authentication. That means we're going to, and the funny thing is, Mike, if you've got two-factor authentication and they've got your phone number, what's likely to happen is they will then call you and say, oh, we're from your bank. There's a problem on your bank. I'm going to ping you a code just to check who you are. Once you get this text, can you give me that 6-digit number? Okay. The text then come through, even saying, do not give anyone this number.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're convincing on the phone, if they're as good as I am when I'm on stage, then they'll convince you that you need to give them that number. Okay? Don't give it out. Don't give it to anyone. Just don't. There's no point. They don't need it. If they are really from your bank, what you actually say is, perfect. Thank you very much for calling me about this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hang up on you and I'm going to call the number on the back of my card just to make sure this is real. Okay? Now, if they really are from your bank, what they should say is, brilliant. Make sure you do that, and I'll put a note on your account so people know why I was calling and they can deal with it. Okay, that's it. If, however, they're a scammer, they'll go, no, I need to help you now. We need to deal with this now because these hackers are trying to get in. That's a hack. That's somebody trying to put extra stress on you. That's someone trying to put fear in you, and they're trying to force you into doing it the way they want. That's a hack.
Yeah.
Mate, seriously, all I can keep doing at the moment is running around, having as many nice people as possible invite me onto their shows so I can spread this to some more people. And eventually, hopefully, most people will learn the lesson and cover their backsides. And then we'll never know how many times somebody tried to hack them because the hackers don't get in.
Yeah. As you say, it's a bit like having the security lights and burglar alarms, and, you know, most hackers will go for the path of least resistance and go for the computer which has the least amount of security and the most open, you know, open to attack.
Yeah. They'll be going for the people that have got the old version of Windows. They'll be going for the people that they know there was a 0-day exploit and they don't do their updates. They'll be going for the people who don't use password managers and don't use multi-factor authentication. It's our choice.
Yeah. Good advice. And just so you know, I'm going to change gear slightly.
Oh, no.
But in another direction, because before I end off the interview, I ask people some kind of fun questions, you could say, just to kind
like
of...
this.
Yes. So, well, being a magician, we know that Paul Daniels is your favorite magician. But what is your favorite trick?
Favorite trick. There's right. My favorite trick for me to perform, or favorite trick that I've seen somebody else do.
Seen someone else do.
Favorite trick seen somebody else do. Penn and Teller bullet catch.
Wow.
Penn and Teller do this trick where the one of them shoots at the other and the other one catches the bullet in their teeth, and it's a signed bullet. And you know that the guest came up on stage and signed the bullet, and it gets shot at him, and he actually catches it. That's nuts. That is nuts. Don't ask me how it's done, because I'm not telling you. But whenever they present it, I love the way they do it.
I think I've seen that one. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And there's still some tricks. I don't do many illusion tricks. I do more mind stuff, and I play with people's heads more. And whilst I'm in a stage in my career where I know that if I see any trick anywhere, I could make some phone calls and I'd have the details of how it's all done. But still, mate, there's some illusion tricks that I watch and I just go, that's magic. And you'll literally have, you know, the designer go, oh, can I show you? No, don't show me how that's done, because I want that magic to stay real in my head.
Yeah.
I love watching illusionists that are really good. I really do. But yeah, the Penn and Teller, they've got something about the way they present. And when they do something as dangerous as a bullet catch, and they do it with their level of comedy as well, it just works for me.
Yeah. Cool. Favorite book, apart from yours, of course.
I was going to say, can I plug Mental Theft? Thanks, mate. Favorite book? Anything in the Alex Cross series. So if you haven't seen them, there's a series of books about Alex Cross, a detective. Some of them have been made into films as well, but all of the books are just awesome and annoying at the same time, because my wife knows that if I pick up a new Alex Cross book that I haven't read before, I'm gone. I'm rubbish to talk to for hours because I'm just reading that book. You know, she has to bribe me out with food.
Yes. Okay. Favorite film?
Favorite film? Oh. Do you know what? I will go with that one. Right. There's a film that I absolutely loved, but it's also got a bit of a bad story attached to it now. But I'll tell you that I loved it and I still love it. It's the Blues Brothers, the original Blues Brothers, which came out in something like 1980, I think.
Yeah, about 40 years ago.
Yeah, and I still just love it. When you can have something as ridiculous as two ex-convicts deciding to put on a show to save nuns, and then you've got dancing from the whole area because they've started playing some music in an old dodgy we can buy it used music kit. Yeah, mate, all of it. Blues Brothers.
No, it's a great film.
Mate, it got me through many weird teenage moments.
Yeah. Wow. Favorite music or favorite type of music?
Do you know what? I don't have a favorite type of music. I love everything from pop to musicals to some grungy stuff, some heavy stuff, some I don't go really heavy like the death metal, but actually, do you know what? I'm gonna go musicals. Because things like Les Mis still just absolutely amaze me. Yeah, musicals.
Great. And favorite food?
Mike, that one's just not fair, mate. Now, I've already just told you that my wife can bribe me with food and other things, but that's not for public consumption. But all I will say is do not marry someone that's an amazing cook, because she is. And she does. Fajitas are amazing. The curries that she does are amazing. Lasagna is amazing. She does a bolognese that is to die for. She does a cottage pie that, oh my God, it's really good. And I had that last week. Actually, do you know what? I'll go with the cottage pie.
Cottage pie, yeah.
Because I'm sat here thinking about it, and that was awesome.
Sounds good to me. And what is the best way to contact you for your magician services and your cybersecurity services? Is there I know you've got one website, haven't you, which has everything? Is that the best?
No, we because we realised that the three things. So you've got mental theft, you've got Paul Newton Magic, you've got the podcast, and they became three very, very separate things. And we made that choice a couple of years ago now, and it works. It does help. But the easiest way to find me, if anyone just types mental theft as one word, don't put a space in there. Don't do mental space theft. Do mental theft as one word, and you will find me. You'll find our website. You'll find our Twitter. You'll find our Instagram. You'll find our Facebook page. It's the easiest way. Just type in mental theft as one word on any well-known googly type platform, and you'll find us.
Cool. I'll put in the show notes as well some of your links.
Please do, mate. Please do. And it even gets you onto the YouTube channel where people can stalk me for a little while and see what I'm like on stage. And they can watch, they can be entertained by a stage show, or they can watch one of the podcasts on there. It's just the best way to find me. And I'm finding that a lot more now. Look, because of what I do, people want to go and check out what I'm really like. And the best way to do that is just see what I'm like with a crowd of people. Go watch a YouTube channel. And then if you want to talk to me about something, ping me a message through any of those options.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. You've been great. We probably could go on for probably another 2 hours, to be honest.
We could have done like 5 shows for you in one sitting.
But yeah, brilliant. Lots of value. Anyone listens to this podcast will finish with, be more enlightened than when they started. Put it that way.
Mate, I hope so. I really do hope so. And seriously, if anyone listening to this needs help, even if it's past my knowledge, okay, just give me a shout. I'll point you in the right direction.
Brilliant, Paul. Thank you. I guess you got a busy day today.
Let's not look at my diary today, because today is a mix of a corporate who think they're getting hacked internally, a meeting with somebody about a panel that I'm on in September, I think it is, and a chat with a lovely lady who was hacked by, how can I put this, romance fraud. Yeah, that one's going to be a tough one to deal with, but we should be able to help her out.
Yeah, wow. Cool. So we're recording, but this won't necessarily be on the final podcast, just so you know anyway.
Yep.
I find what happens is with Zoom, when I click stop, all the signal, it overloads the computer, while it's
recording. Because it does that.
It starts doing
the converting thing. Doesn't it?
And then I lose contact with the interviewee, and they think I've just done the interview and buggered off.
Yeah, mate, I completely agree with you. Me and Jesse knows. It only started happening a few months back. It never happened when we first started the podcast.
No,
but it's only in the last 5-6 months that it started doing that. So I don't know if they've changed.
The conspiracy theory is that possibly they wanted to. Did you have got the free version or the paid version?
We got the paid for.
So it still happens on the paid version. So my conspiracy theory doesn't work then, because I thought the way of getting people to pay for the cloud recordings.
Yeah, because so on the free version, I think they still do. If it's just 2 of you, they don't have a time limit on it.
No.
But where it's normally me, Jesse, plus the interviewee, we've got 3 of us. So if we did that, we'd be limited to the 40 minutes each time. So for I think I pay them something like 80 quid a year.
Yeah, it's all good. It's good value, really, isn't it? Especially if you doing podcasts and doing lots of one-to-ones.
This is it. All I have to do is one online show, and it's paid for a whole year or 2. I can't really much about it.
Yeah, no, it's bloody good. So if you say good things about Zoom, they won't. Well, we're talking.
They won't screw over our technology.
And the podcast, say probably like yours, it'll probably be out in a few weeks' time. I've got to do some editing. Obviously, I've got to edit out the bit where it dropped out. So apologies for that.
Mate, tech, don't worry about it. And warn me, give me a few days warning at least before it goes out, and I'll promote it on all of my stuff to get a load of my people to go and watch yours.
I'm gonna say because you've got your own following yourself, so that will be very, very helpful. Very helpful.
Mate, this is what it's all about. At the end of the day, I've got a following that listen to podcasts. So surely promoting another podcast is promoting to people that could be interested in you straight away.
Yeah.
Why not? Why wouldn't we collaborate on that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And during the interview, I love the fact that you've mentioned I've got a podcast, which will hopefully make some of your listeners go, let's go check his one out as well then.
Yeah. I'll put that in the show notes. In the spec, I put links at the bottom saying, I put the link to Newton's Nuggets.
Awesome.
And everything else on there too. So,
thank you, mate.
That's right.
And you never know who's going to see what and where they're going to get in touch with you from or why.
Yeah.
And it might be my rant about 2-factor authentication that somebody goes, yeah, we need him to come in and do a talk.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And if you have any like images you'd like to use, because you usually have an image of myself and the interviewee. I mean, if you've got
I will drop you a link to
preferred image.
I do have a couple that are quite nice.
Portraits and headshots.
Mental Theft. There's the company. No. There it is. That's a good one. Paul Newton profile pic. Let's see if this works. See, now I'm hoping that technology will work for me while we're live.
It's a big ask.
Oh, it is. Copy link. Copy. Oh, this might just work, Mike. Where's the chat bit? There it is. After telling you not to click links, right? If you click that link, that'll take you to my OneDrive folder, and that has a profile picture in it that I use.
Brilliant. Fantastic. I'll use that.
All good?
Copy.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I appreciate your time as well. I don't know, I've probably taken longer than you expected. but
do you know what? For things like this, mate, I just block out 2 hours just in case.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you never know. And then the worst case is we only do half hour, and I go, look, I've got 90 minutes off. Woohoo!
Yes.
Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. Right, I need to go get my head ready for this other corporate one now then.
Oh, yeah.
But
all the best with it. And
mate, seriously, thank you for inviting me on. Really appreciate it. Let me know if I can help in any way, okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I will do. And I'll put my feelers out as well for any talks I can you know, or any people I could send your way in terms of cyber security and magic as well. Because obviously the magic I knew about, but the cybersecurity was something I wasn't. I didn't know until the last only meeting that you did that. So that's
again, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Suddenly, I said something, and you went, "Oh,
yeah,
that sounds different."
It went ding. You know, I got ding.
Mate, it's brilliant. Right, I will see you later, sir. Thank you very much.
Cheers, pal. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.